I've been doing this for 7 years, so I've watched quite a few YouTube videos and different people's channels and seeing different people's reactions and conditions. And a lot of them are the younger crowd. I mean, what older person does social media, right? One carrier, one time, I said, all these people online, they're all very positive. And Tan said something to me. She always sees the things I didn't see. She goes, it's because they're positive, that's why they're making videos. All the people negative, all the depressed people, they're hiding away in their room, you know? They're not coming online. But the thing is, a lot of these people online, they're very young, okay? So for me, my stroke was at 41. So I walked in with a ton of knowledge, you know. My tool chest was bursting at the seams. It was so full. I had every tool in the toolbox to fight it with. And when I spoke to Julie and passing some wisdom on, she made a joke with me. She goes, do you know you sound like you're 90? And that is pretty much right. I came in with so much knowledge. Well, another time I was talking to another carer, telling him my life experiences. And she goes, Tom, you've lived the life of two people. You've got enough life experience of two people. I guess that's one of the reasons why, look, I don't care what anyone thinks. Someone watching on the other side, they know what I got was really, remarkable, from fully paralyzed to walking. And they can also think, hey, this guy's injury wasn't that bad. You can think whatever you want. I really don't care. I really don't care. I know what I had to do in hospital. I know what I do now. I exercise like crazy. And the only reason I exercise, I don't like exercise. Because I want to heal. I want to walk. So I will throw everything at it to get myself out of the situation I'm in. Another thing is hope. If you don't have hope, if you don't believe in yourself, what's the point of doing anything? I do see myself walking, Oh, I'm walking now, so of course. But that's what okay. In part 3, was it part 3? Yeah, part 3. The topic was acceptance. Acceptance is so important. When you accept, you're not depressed. So I accepted my situation. I accepted that, I'm paralyzed and I'm in a wheelchair. But what I refuse to accept is I will never walk again. So I accepted my situation without any issues. And then when I wasn't depressed, wasn't angry, wasn't sad, wasn't frustrated, I went to war with my situation. I tackled it in a way that a lot of people probably don't have the skills to tackle it with. My body was broken. I couldn't move a fucking thing. I tackled it with this, with my brain, with my mind. Oh. Yeah, and another thing. My YouTube has already been all divided up into playlists. So there's the most important part for anyone is that part 1 to 10. Watch that first, and then I also broke it up into different body parts. Core, it is seriously the most important. If you want to walk, you got to get your abs, you got to get your core stronger. And the last video I put up, last year around the third week of June, because you see the belt I wear? Because after a while I got to take it off and scratch because it gets itchy. And it was around the third week of June, and I just started walking 1st of June without someone holding for the very first time in over 6 years. So there I was, and I took off the belt to have a scratch. And when I was scratching my stomach, I thought, hey, this feels a bit strange. It feels a bit hard. And then I flexed the muscle, and I was shocked. At age 48, I had a full six-pack, and a really rock-hard six-pack. The only other time I had a six-pack was when I was 19 years old, like 30 years ago. And for someone who's been in the wheelchair for 6 years and who's 48 to get a six-pack, and that was all from the exercise I did last year. It's part 11 if you want to watch. It's the way of hacking your brain, taking away your options for results. It's not. It's very advanced. If you haven't done it before, you got to go baby steps. But I've done it many times before, so I just went all out. Now, if your goal is to walk, then strengthen your core and your legs. So just watch those videos from the videos I made in the past, and just try to adjust it. If you have to adjust it, adjust it. And if you can't even get out of bed, or something like that, then do the upper body first. So and another thing is, with exercise, you have to start from the smallest place. As adults, we don't really. Our brain thinks a different way. Like a lot of people with spinal injury. They're thinking, I expect to be wheeled into the operation theater and come out six hours later walking. There's no such thing. Maybe in 100 years there is, but not now. So forget that idea, and just go from basics. Just how a baby learned to walk. They're rolling around on the floor. That's the first step. And then they try to crawl, hands and legs just scratching the floor to see if they could get forward. And then, I don't know, trying to stand, holding onto the couch. Just in baby steps, stuff that we don't even, as adults, it's not in our brain anymore. But that's exactly how I recovered from fully paralyzed, being in full quadriplegia. I made 3 videos about this, so that's how important it is. How I first broke free from quadriplegia. It was at the second hospital, and it took me 2 bloody months. And it was just by attempting to move my arm. And it was only one arm, my right arm, my dominant arm. I tried to think how, I didn't know, I don't know. It's just, luckily my brain was where it was, and I was saying, fuck this, I'm not going to accept being paralyzed for the rest of my life. So I just moved my arm for 2 months. And in the early days, sleep wasn't easy to sleep. So it's not like, my mum leaves at visiting hours. I'll call it an hour later. No, it was hours, 3, 5, 6, who knows? And I did that all night. I attempted to move my right arm all night. And after a long time, it started moving. And that is how I first broke free from quadriplegia. And, other people should just try. If you've been stuck in your wheelchair for years or whatever, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Just try what I did. And the worst thing you can do, absolutely worst thing you can do, is in your brain, the thoughts come in. Oh, this guy's different from me, you know. This guy didn't have a spinal injury. This guy, blah, blah, blah. If you do that, your journey is over before it even started. Your brain already stopped you. Because you're telling yourself it can't be done. So if it can't be done, are you really going to do it? No, you're not. Simple as that. That's why every time I talk to someone, I tell them this is a physical issue, but it can only be won on the mental side. It's won or lost on the mental side. If you can't win this on the mental front, I don't know.